Hey guys, it's Sicko, and if you're watching, this is going to be my first mouse video review. And to be honest, I've been sitting on making video reviews for a while, but I've been stuck on how to shoot it, how to make it look, how to edit, and all that stuff, right? I feel like I haven't even mastered photography yet, and I have no business doing video, but I think I'm just gonna have to take my own advice here and just start. The goal is to make these videos simple to shoot, easy to edit, and quick to upload, right? And my main focus right now is really just to talk about, the things I enjoy, which are mice, mouse pads, and keyboards. So before I begin, I do want to thank Teevolution for sending out the Terra Pro in white along with the 8K dongle. Appreciate you guys. So the Terra Pro is a lightweight ergonomic mouse that is essentially a clone of the Logitech G403 or G703. And it sits somewhere between 49 and 51 grams, but I'm getting 52 on mine. They do go up to 52 if you have the stock skates installed. And Teevolution did confirm this. I don't naturally gravitate towards ergonomic mice, but I had some fun with this one, even though I prefer ambidextrous and smaller mice in general. So yeah, it's pretty good. I had some fun with this, and if I really had to use an ergonomic mouse, it would definitely be this one. Right, so before I get into the mouse, I kind of wanted to show you what you get in the box if you do decide to purchase the Terra Pro. So you get a cable, which is a braided and thick USB-C cable. Very good. USB dongle in case you want to go wireless and you don't have the 8K dongle. You get some dot skates, some kind of collectible plastic card if you're into that kind of thing. An extra pair of full skates, which I would recommend you put on the mouse right away because the stock skates that come with the Terra Pro are just no good. I don't like them at all. So put these on right away if you do decide to get it. Teevolution stickers, manual, and some grips. Overall, very generous accessories package. Everything you could possibly need to make your Terra Pro experience even better. Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't naturally gravitate towards ergonomic mice. I just find them too big. I prefer ambidextrous mice, and I prefer smaller mice. I always find these ergo mice too big for my grip. I'm not a fan of the center humps on them. And I normally like to have my wrist making contact on the mouse pad. So when the hump is high on the center, it doesn't allow me to do that and it doesn't become comfortable, right? Which is why I'm surprised by the Terra Pro and why I had so much fun with it. Because I ended up being won over. Although this isn't going to make it into my main rotation, nor is this something I would outright buy. But I'm always open to be proving wrong, which is why I didn't mind accepting a sample from Terra Pro. And I think, more or less, they did kind of win me over with the Terra Pro. In terms of specs, I think it has everything you could possibly want in a mouse that is made in 2025. It's got a PixArt 3950. It's got all your DPI levels. It's got a web app. It's 8K ready. And you can also get an 8K dongle for it. One thing that I feel isn't necessary in mice these days is a Bluetooth connection. I have never needed to use a mouse via Bluetooth, but I'm sure some people do. But for me personally, Bluetooth is not something that I look for in a mouse. And speaking of 8K, The Terra Pro unit that they sent me did come with their 8K LCD dongle, which I think is probably the highlight of this entire package, right? I love dongles with screens on them. I am a sucker for things like that. So this is this is undoubtedly the coolest part of the mouse for me. So if you have an option to get the LCD dongle, it looks great on the desk. It tells the time. Although it's military time, they did tell me they're working on doing a 12-hour clock on the LCD dongle. So hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. But yeah, it's really cool. It displays all the info on your mouse on the screen. Super cool, super useful. Very, very nice dongle to have. All right, so let's get into the shape. All right, so the Terra Pro's shape is exactly like the Logitech G403 or G703, which is a medium to large ergonomic mouse. So if you prefer smaller mice like the Beast X Mini, Final Mouse ULX, OP1 8K, or the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition, this will definitely feel bulky at first. It did for me. For smaller hands, the pronounced hump and wider grip could take an adjustment period. It did for me, right? If you're coming from a fingertip grip, you might need an adjustment period as well. That said, the 49 to 51 gram weight keeps it agile. Well, 52 on mine if you count the weight with the stock skates. And the comfort grooves guide your fingers naturally, making it surprisingly manageable for claw grip, even if you lean towards smaller mice. So this is where I'm coming from when I said I was pleasantly surprised at how much fun I had with this mouse. It's very comfortable to hold. And the coating actually is one of the Terra Pro's strongest assets, right? It's got that matte, powdery texture that I absolutely love. This is my ideal texture on a mouse, mainly because it's easy to grip, it resists sweat and fingerprints, and it feels premium, right? And I also often clean my mice. So this is easy to clean, easy to wipe down with alcohol or any kind of multi-purpose cleaner that isn't too aggressive. And this coating makes it very easy to maintain some cleanliness, right? Very nice. I would give the coating of the Terra Pro a perfect score. They absolutely nailed the coating on their mouse. Now let's get into the clicks. The main buttons use FE optical switches, so they deliver a crisp and tactile feel with, minimal pre-travel and post-travel. They're rated for 100 million clicks, so I don't think durability is going to be an issue, right? The click sound is sharp and I want to say moderately loud. Not as quiet as a Logitech G Pro X Superlight, but not as overly clicky like a mechanical switch, right? I would say the sound of these clicks are just right, nothing too crazy. A click sound is, a particular aspect of a mouse that matters to me personally because I normally use speakers with my PC, so I hear every click, I hear everything, right? So I'm happy to report that this didn't feel like it was interrupting my audio flow in any way while I was gaming or browsing, right? And these are certainly not as obnoxiously loud like the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition, that's for sure. Now, in terms of performance, I do want to preface this by saying I did use the Terra Pro for Valorant, Diablo 4, and Black Ops 6, right? And a little bit of Destiny 2. And I will say that I do game regularly, but I no longer game competitively, right? And I'm also a product photographer first and a reviewer second, right? So take that into account when I do share my thoughts on the overall performance of the Terra Pro. right? So it was most challenging to use the Terra Pro for Black Ops 6 because, like I said, a bigger mouse requires more effort. Target switching wasn't as snappy, and I didn't feel like I had a full grasp on my aim. And I think it's because I do prefer ambidextrous and smaller mice. But it was more than decent for Valorant and Diablo 4, where the movements are a little more deliberate, slow, and subtle. So I didn't find any issue using the Terra Pro for those games. And of course, one of the best things about the Terra Pro is it does have a web app, and it does exactly what you need it to do. Very simple and easy to use. You can set your polling rate, you can set your DPI, and all that, right? So nothing fancy, just something that's simple and something that works, which at the end of the day, for me personally, is the most important part of a web app, right? Being able to connect right away, being able to understand how things work right off the bat without having to resort to looking at a manual or having to do a Google search, right? So A plus web app is great. And last, certainly not the least, is the build quality. And I have nothing bad to say about how this mouse is built. No creaking, no flexing, no rattles. It feels absolutely solid, lightweight, and premium. And no accidental clicks when you slam it down, which is, well, it should be the standard, but it's worth mentioning anyway. So, yeah, overall, with the money that you spend on this mouse, I think you're getting a very, very well built ergonomic mouse. All right, so final thoughts and my personal recommendation. The Teevolution Terra Pro is an absolute winner if you're someone looking for an updated G403 or G703. Or if you're someone who prefers ergonomic mice and want the latest technology, then you can't go wrong with the Terra Pro, right? Lightweight, great coding, great build quality, satisfying clicks, and of course, it's got a web app and a relatively affordable price. You can't go wrong with this, right? If I had to use an ergonomic mouse for the foreseeable future, it would be this. But in the end, at the end of the day, I still prefer my ambidextrous and small mice. But overall, yes, I can recommend this mouse if you want to try something new or if you're looking to update your ergonomic mouse.